I was not going to film this video because I didn't think I had enough books to make a solid haul with. I started pulling books off my shelves. Turns out I have more than 50 books that I've bought recently in the last couple months. Consumerism really got me today. We're gonna dive right into fantasy romance though, because it is my biggest boy section. Starting off nice and simple, I did purchase myself a copy of Glow of the Everflame and Heat of the Everflame before these indie prints went out, because it was picked up traditionally, at least the first two books, and they're getting a recover design. But I decided to pick them up so that the paperbacks would match and I wouldn't have to wait forever for paperbacks because they're coming out in hardcovers first. I already own the first book. This is Spark of the Everflame. It is the next new romantasy in my opinion. If you liked A Court of Thorns and Roses, pick up Spark of the Everflame. Like, this is the next big series. It's incredible. I have too many books to give you synopsis today. Similarly, Sky Beyond the Storm by Sabaa Tahir. I actually picked this up because I didn't own the fourth book. I owned 1, 2, and 3 in paperback, but I remember when I read this series, this one had just come out, so it came out in hardcover. They recently changed the cover design on these and I personally don't like them. I actually really like the people cover on these, so I picked up the fourth book. If you have not read this YA series, it's amazing, and Sabaa Tahir has a new book coming out within the same world, so it's the perfect time to pick these up. I picked up Two Twisted Crowns after loving One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. I had to get myself a copy of the second one. I still need to read this. One Dark Window was 5 stars, and I've heard this one is even better. Worthy of Fate by A.N. Caudle, which I picked up because I did an Polycon TBR for this year, and this was one of the authors going, and I thought this book looked really interesting, and since then I feel like this book is on the up and up. I've been seeing it on TikTok quite a bit. I think this is a romantasy we're gonna be seeing a lot of people trying out. There is a trial in this, that's all I know, and I believe he's a shadow daddy. Quicksilver by Callie Hart. A lot of the books you're going to see in this haul I have read already. As I said, I've just been putting these on my shelf, and a haul just like tells you what I bought in the last couple months, but you've seen me read these in vlogs and stuff already, and obviously I gave this one 5 stars. I loved this one. I also think this is going to be a really big romantasy that we see. It actually just got picked up traditionally, so it will be being published again. I think early December, late November it's being published traditionally, and we have the second book coming fall next year. I'm very excited to see where this journey goes. This is the perfect time to read this because it is like a wintry setting. There are also a lot of magical creatures in this, vampires being one of them, so if you're looking for a fallish read, it's like fall to winter to me. Reckless by Lauren Roberts. This is my current read. The sequel to Powerless. Powerless was an easy 5 star for me last year, so of course I had to pick up the sequel. I'm vibing, I'm enjoying. This is a YA fantasy, but I think it leans towards a little bit being romance heavy. Like, the plot is kind of in the background. You fall in love with the romance in this. Thoroughly love this. This is a fun time read. If you love a man who just gives one-liner after one-liner, pick this series up. The Road of Bones by Demi Winters. Melissa actually gifted this to me for my birthday. I have lost so many gift notes, so thank you so much, Melissa. I gave this 3 stars, and I actually will be unhauling it pretty much right after you're seeing this haul, but I wanted to try it. It's a Viking romantasy, and I see the TikTok girl is screaming about this man. He didn't hit for me, but I hope he hits for some of you, and I hope this goes off my shelf to someone else who it's gonna hit for, because there is potential. I just like a darker love interest than I think we get here. Listen, why not carry on with my hauls? Toledo Crystal Bloom also gifted to me for my birthday. Thank you so much. But I kind of hated this book, but I had to put it in a haul. I had to tell you guys that I did have it. It was on my shelf for about 2 weeks before I read it. Just not for me. Hopefully for the next person who gets it. A Court of Thorns and Roses. Now, gasp that I did not own this. I need to get the next 2. My mom actually bought this and read it, and I was like, hey, can I have it when you're done? And she was like, don't you already own this? But she bought it when she was on like vacation for like a vacation read. And I was like, I don't. I read the ebooks. And I still didn't own myself a copy, and since she was gonna be done with it and was just gonna probably unhaul it, I stole it, so it's now on my shelves, and I need to get the rest of the series because I absolutely adore Court of Thorns and Roses. One of the books that got me into romantasy for sure. Ash and Feather by S.M. Gaither, a sequel to Flame and Sparrow. Flame and Sparrow was in my last haul. I really enjoyed Flame and Sparrow. I need to continue on in the series. It's just a duology. I've been loving romantasy books that aren't about fae. I've been loving meddling gods, which is what this is. I think it's really enjoyable. The God of Fire has my heart, but there's also found family, and there's some funny comedic relief within this story. I need to continue. I love the tones of the covers. These two together are really pretty in my opinion, but I did just haul this one. Very excited. I still haven't read it. I don't know how. Shadow and Storm by Helen Schuer. This is the last book in the Legend of Thesmar series. It came out in June, July, I forget now. I still haven't read this one either, and I'm caught up on the series other than that, so I really just need to finish this, especially because Helen Schuer announced a sequel series. Not really a sequel series, but it's following different characters that we've met. Like, we know who the love interests are, and we know both of them, and I'm very excited to continue. We have a main character who fights. She's sassy, she's feisty, she's good with a sword. Essentially, in this world, women are told they can't wield a blade, and she's like, nah, I'm gonna wield one, and we watch her do that and what that means. And there's like trainer-trainee scenes. If you like a couple that just like cannot resist each other, like they know they're not good for each other and they just keep coming back together again and again, read this. If you like a grumpy, brooding love interest, read this. I will say, once you see it, you'll never go back. Book 1 has 1 sword. Book 2 has 2 swords, and book 3 has 3 swords, so it really annoys me that book 4 also has 3 swords. And I think the shield is supposed to be like the last weapon, but book 1 also has a shield. So this is like really a nitpick, because the covers are stunning, and I love the tones and how they look together on the shelf, especially their spines, but I don't know. That just kind of bothers me. I also picked up A House of Bane and Blood and City of Mirth and Malice in the last couple months. This is my probably favorite read of the year, both of these. This duology was incredible. It's something unique to me. It's like a steampunk romantasy. It's urban, but it's set in a different world. Like, it's not set in our world, so it's not like your typical urban fantasy, I guess. Think like how Crescent City is set in a new world, but it's set in a city. That's these two. Peaky Blinders meets romantasy, and I really, really, really enjoyed these. It's an arranged marriage trope. If you haven't read them, please do. It's a duology, and it's absolutely incredible. I keep pushing this on people. I loved this. Favorite of the year, probably. Rain and Shadows and Endings. I think this was gifted to me by Claire. If I'm wrong, I'm so sorry. Wait, I see a gift note. It was gifted to me by Claire for my birthday. This is a companion series kind of to the Lady of Darkness series, although I actually didn't like the Lady of Darkness series and I didn't finish it. You can read them without reading the other, but they are in the same world. Companion's probably not the right term. They're just set in the same world. I've heard everyone screaming about, like everyone. I mean, everyone screamed about Lady of Darkness too, and I just wasn't on that ride with them, but I'm hoping I'll be on this ride with them. And I've heard it's like dark romantasy, and I get very trigger happy with the word dark in romantasy because I want more darker stories or really eat them up, and I love like a dark, possessive, but amazing love interest, and I'm hoping that that is that. So very excited to have this one now. We're getting into like first editions and special editions here for romantasy. We have Immortal Dark by Tigress Gurma. This is like a dark academia vampire romantasy, and it's really captured my attention. I feel like a lot of people have been reading it in this fall time. It is my Patreon buddy read for the month of October. It's literally so pretty. Like, I'm obsessed with that, and the naked book is actually really stunning as well. I'm very excited that we're getting some unique vampire stories coming out, and I feel like dark academia was trending like 2 years ago but seemed to fall off a little bit, and I feel like getting a vampire dark academia book just made sense. I got a Bookish Box Iron Flame edition to match my Fourth Wing edition that is kind of like hidden up there. This is what the edge looks like. It's a little bit of a warmer tone than Fourth Wing, which I'm not sure I love, but I do love the like library of this, and I love the like little corner things. They're so pretty, and that's what that looks like. When I was subbed to Bookish Box, I did get Sanctuary of the Shadows, and I think this is probably one of my favorite editions that they've done, which sucks because I haven't heard great things about this book. However, the edition is stunning, and I may just never read it because this is such a pretty cover. This is the back, and then this is the edge. This is the reverse dust jacket, but look at how stunning that is. And the back, and then the end papers are each of the main characters. Honestly, me and Bookish Box, we're not the best of friends. I don't typically love their editions, but this is a favorite of mine. It's absolutely breathtaking in my opinion. I'm nervous to read this because I heard the circus is not really a big part, and like it's really marketed that way. So we will see. Daughter of the Pirate King. This was gifted to me for my birthday as well, but I have lost the gift note. So whoever gifted it to me, I'm so sorry, but thank you so much. This just has the edition with the sprayed edge, which I probably should have picked up the other 2 editions because I don't think they make them anymore. So that was not good planning on my part. I've been in my pirate era. I've been loving reading pirate romantasies. I've been trying to find more of them. And I have not read this one, and I feel like I'm behind on the time, so I feel like everyone is screaming about this Once Upon a Time. So I really need to. I think it's going to be an easy, fun time read, and I'm very excited for it. Nectar of the Wicked by Ella Fields. This is such a stunning edition. I'm now not sure if I actually showed this off in my last haul, but if I did, I'm sorry. It's like the only book that would have been in there. This is so pretty in my opinion. This is the Fairy Loot edition. This is what the back looks like and the edge. And the naked book is stunning as well. And we have end papers. They are the same on both sides though, which I feel like do them different. And my opinion is if they're gonna be like real artwork, like in this one, they should be different. But if they're just like a pattern, I'm okay with them being the same. But like having the same artwork just flipped is like a little meh to me. But that's my opinion. This is a Fae Romantasy. It's a duology people were loving. I actually didn't love this, but I'm not sure I can unhaul it because it's just really pretty. So we will see. When I need room, it'll go bye-bye. I have Bonded by Thorns, which again is the Fairy Loot edition. And again, it's stunning. In my opinion, Fairy Loot knows how to do special editions very well. Their artwork is always beautiful and they feel different. I find a lot of special edition boxes, I'm finding artwork feels very similar to each other. Fairy Loot has like a style of theirs, but it feels unique to each book in my opinion. I think that this is really, really pretty. This is what the back looks like. Simple but works in my opinion. And like that stenciled edge is everything. This one does have a reverse dust jacket. I think it's just the original in a different color. And the naked book, again, absolutely breathtaking. Here's the artwork. And this one has the different men on the back. This is a Why Choose following a princess who has to make a deal with 4 Fae princes to get her father back. So I'm excited because I've been in my Why Choose era. I've been wanting to read more of them since I loved Broken Bonds earlier this year. So this one really has been calling to me. And I believe they also have a curse which makes them turn into wolves every once in a while. So like werewolf Fae. I like that take on it and I'm very, very excited to read this. Next up I have Butcher and Blackbird by Bryn Weaver. This is the Darkly Box edition. This is a serial killer romance and I've read one of those before, so I was really excited to get my hands on this because I've been hearing everyone screaming about this for the last year. This artwork I haven't read, but I'm guessing it matches the vibe of the book. I don't love that the back is like the same, just reversed. Like that on the dust jacket, come on please. The edge though is very unique. And then this is the reverse dust jacket, which I do think I like. I might reverse it. The naked book and the artwork, the same on both sides. I will say something I really like about Bookish Box Editions, which is the company that does the Darkly Box, is that they make their dust jackets really easy to flip. They're really, really easy to reverse if you like the reverse better. Some of them are harder. I think you're probably going to see what I mean about editions looking very similar with the next 3 because they're all Fabled editions. And I think Fabled editions are very, very, very stunning. However, they're all starting to look alike to me. I want a little bit of a difference in some artwork at some point, but we have To Carve a Fae Heart, a stunning edition, and this is the naked book and the end paper. The end paper on the other side is different. This is an arranged marriage and she's destined to marry a king who has fangs and a thirst for blood. I'm intrigued. I've been loving arranged marriages. And then we have To Bleed a Kingdom. I feel like you can already see what I mean. Like they are different, but like the foil on them is very much very similar. It's just like a border. I do love the edge on this one. And I think the naked book is stunning. And here's the end paper. I feel like Fabled is picking more unique books in other book boxes, which I really like. And then I made my friend Claire track down the Fabled edition because I didn't get it of A House of Bane and Blood. So it comes in a slipcase, which I do kind of like the slipcase. It's like different. And then this is just a naked book. I really like the edge. And here's the end papers. We already talked about this book, but I did want this edition. As soon as I read the book, I was mad that I had skipped this. Then I have a special edition of The Traitor Queen and The Bridge Kingdom. These are the Dirty Diction Fiction editions. I cannot open them. I cannot show you them too much because they are not safe for work art and YouTube will ban my channel if it accidentally leaks. So I'm not gonna show you more than just what the outside looks like. But I do think the outsides are very, very pretty and I was very excited to have this edition. And they come in a slipcase as well. And then just a standard edition, but it is a first edition, is The Games Gods Play by Abigail Owen. I'm actually currently reading this as well and I'm loving it. It's fun. It's like The Hunger Games meets Percy Jackson and the Olympians, but make it new adult. I'm really enjoying it and this just comes with a stenciled edge and I have really, really been liking this. We can finally move on to a new category. I told you that was a big boy. I had a lot of books. I'm talking too much. I picked up The Dragon Kiss by E.A. Winters. This was also a gift to me from Blue Dragon's Keep, Rebecca. Thank you so much for this. I like a dragon book, so I always have dragon books on my wish list, but I actually don't know a lot about this one. The Hunter's Gambit, it's a vampire story. I'm loving vampire stories. The synopsis of this is in my vampire TBR. The Blood of the Stars, this is one of the books that was picked for me to be a semi-finalist in SPIFBO 10 since I'm a judge in SPIFBO 10, and I was going to pick up all the editions and then most of them were on KU and I stopped doing that, so I actually only own this one. It's a chunky boy, so I needed the physical book. Flames of Mira, a gift for my birthday from Tiara. Thank you so much. This one fits the underground square on our fantasy bingo. I actually have since filled that square, but that's why I really wanted to read this. But I am really intrigued by this one. This was a really cool fantasy in my opinion. Soul Cage by Eller Schultz. I read a previous book by Eller Schultz and really liked it, and this is his newer, more high fantasy, and I'm really intrigued. This is like very epic. Souls are the currency, death is the price. I'm intrigued. That cover is really cool in my opinion. Can't wait to read this. And then for fantasy special editions, I did just get my Kickstarter backing of the Trilogy of Trilogies by Rob J. Hayes. So we have Demon, which could be one of my favorite reads of the year, and Deathless in these like hardcovers. You can only get the hardcovers through the Kickstarter, but the paperbacks of these look almost exactly the same, besides that there is really freaking cool artwork in them. The Demon artwork shocked me so much. I loved the Demon artwork when I opened this. And then we have the main beast. We have Herald, which has a special dust jacket on it. And then on the inside, this one does look like the other ones, and it too has artwork. This is definitely one of the coolest things I feel like I've experienced in fantasy, is someone writing a trilogy of trilogies. If you don't know what these are, go check them out. It's an incredible idea, and I'm a Rob J. Hayes fangirl, so go read them. Okay, let's do thriller next, which thriller is literally pretty much all just John Mars. For my birthday, I put John Mars on my wish list like crazy, and they did not sleep on that. We have The Minders by John Mars, The Marriage Act by John Mars, The Family Experiment by John Mars, The Vacation by John Mars, and The One by John Mars. John Mars writes sci-fi-ish thrillers. They're set in our world, but not our world. Like, it's like a dystopian version of our world where things are happening. All of these follow cool concepts. The One is like, what if someone could match your DNA to like your perfect match, like your soulmate? What would that mean? Like, what if you already had kids with someone who wasn't your soulmate? Things like that. The Family Experiment was about a reality TV show about raising AI kids. I haven't read the other ones, but I'm really excited to read them. He does a very good job of like discussing a real world issue like AI and having like a lot of like good conversations about it while still having a thriller. And then my only other thriller is Good Girl Bad Blood, which is the second book in the series. I need to read this so that I can watch the TV show. I want to finish the trilogy before I watch the TV show that recently came out. I did really like the first book in the series, which shocked me. This is like a YA mystery thriller, I would probably call it. And I would definitely recommend this if you're like looking to get into like thrillers of some sort. I really enjoyed this one. Horror is next. I recently did a TikTok haul, so you're gonna see a few of these from there. Confessions by Kanae Minato. I just feel like everyone has been screaming about this one. I need to read it. 13 Stories by Jonathan Sims. I'm really intrigued by this one. It's like a dinner party where someone died and then everyone won't say what happened. And we're gonna have to figure out what actually happened. Ghost Camera by Darcy Coates. This is like a novella following a camera that when you take pictures you can see ghosts. I'm intrigued. Bury Your Gaze, following a movie director who's told to kill off a gay character, but he realizes it's not that easy and there's some trauma and some history, and I'm sure there's going to be some sort of supernatural horror in this as well. Clown in a Cornfield 1 and 3. I went to buy 3 and realized I don't own 1, so I should probably buy 1. I just owned 2. I had read the first one audio only, and so I love these. This is a YA slasher, my favorite YA slasher. A lot of political conversations in this. If you're looking to get into horror as well, I would recommend these. Mary by Nat Cassidy, a book I loved, I just didn't own. I'm a Nat Cassidy stan, a Nat Cassidy fangirl, so I needed to own this. This is a reimagining of Carrie. Like, what if Carrie survived what happened to her? This would be Carrie. Heads Will Roll by Josh Winning. I believe this is a slasher at a camp. Not 100% certain, but I think so. The September House by Chris Orlando. One that I've read. I loved this. It's a 5-star read for me. This is about a girl who's always wanted to own a house, but when she buys one, there's ghosts in it, but she's not willing to sell it because it's her dream house and she has to learn to live with them. So Thirsty by Rachel Harrison. I really, really liked Black Sheep by Rachel Harrison last year, so I'm excited to read this vampire one from her. We Used to Live Here by Marcus Clywer. This is one of the Reddit no sleep stories, and I've read 3 of those and really liked them all, so I'm hoping I will love this too. It's a haunted house story, but I've been told it's very weird and bizarre. And then my Evernight edition of The Eyes Are the Best Part by Monica Kim. I love this creepy cover that they did. Like, this is so cool. The edge is also eyes, and like, that is so creepy. And more eyeballs. That's my little horror section, and then I have 2 miscellaneous. We have Navigating the Stars, which Emma gifted me for my birthday. Thank you so much. I have since read this. This is a YA sci-fi. If you're getting into sci-fi, I would try this. And then Flawless by Elsie Silver, which is a romance, cowboy romance. It's actually set in the place that I live, so I really want to try it. This was also gifted to me for my birthday from Tori. Thank you so much, Tori. There's some bull riding. We've all had cowboy fantasies before. I really need to try this and read this. This is very much outside of my comfort zone, but I'm so excited to try it. I can only imagine the arms and the butts on those bull riders. That's for sure. If you've read any of these, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. And if you're just wanting to leave an emoji, leave me an eyeball emoji and have yourselves an absolutely remarkable day.